Hello, my name is Nick Zoshak, and this is my Week 2 game pitch. Rainbow Blitz is a 2D top-down action-adventure game where players will use changing colors to defeat enemies and solve puzzles. The theme and main mechanics for the game are about the color wheel. As we see here, each color sits at a specific position next to colors of a similar spectrum, and opposite those of the opposite spectrum. As we see in the picture on the right, the player, who's the black circle, must get down to the red power star in the bottom left and then use that to encircle and defeat the red enemy, and then pass through the red gate. There's also a counter by each gate denoting how many enemies are left to be defeated before moving on. So the player will use these different colored stars to mix and match their color to whatever situation they're in, whether it be defeating enemies, passing through gates, etc. There will also be a erase or color reset star that allows the player to change their color back to black, so if they need to change up tactics or if they've just messed up and need to reset. The players will be able to trap enemies of similar colors, such as if they are red, they can trap a pink or orange enemy and defeat them. However, if the enemy is of the opposite color spectrum, so blue, purple, teal, and they are red, the enemy will only be stunned, and then the paint around them will dissipate after a few seconds and chase the player again. A player has very free movement over this grid that we saw. They can move in any direction over the lines. However, they must be in a space completely to be able to paint it. The enemies have very lateral movement, moving left, right, up, and down, so the player can use that knowledge to try to trap an enemy. Each level or room ends when all the enemies are destroyed, and the player matches the color of the gate to get through it. The players can decide whether they want to trap single enemies one by one for base point reward, or trap multiple enemies at once. This allows for some unique strategies, such as if a player sees a blue and red enemy, they can mix themselves to purple, circle both enemies at once, and defeat them both at once. And there will also be secret gates for the player to find, mix to the right color, and get through to get things such as lives, power-ups, or extra points. This is a very basic gameplay footage that shows a player as a red trapping a red enemy by moving right then down. Once he finishes the square, the enemy will be destroyed and they'll be able to move to the red gate. This next is a little bit more complex. The enemy again is being surrounded by the player as red, and there's a blue enemy too. The player, once he defeats the red, can either go reset his color via the black 6-pointed star in the top right, get blue and defeat the blue enemy, or he can just get purple, defeat the blue enemy anyway, and then get through the purple gate at the top left to get the extra life. However, he will have to reset his color to red to get through the gate at the bottom right. Some similar titles to this game are Cubert, which is a top-down 3D game that has had players hop on different blocks to change the color of all the blocks before moving on to the next level. Color World is an online game I found that just has players shooting different blocks of different colors, not quite matching mine, but I thought I'd add it. And Okami, which is a Nintendo DS game where the player directs a wolf with a paintbrush to give it instructions and return color to the world. Some opportunities for the game are definitely creativity, for players coming up with a lot of different solutions to get all the enemies at once, getting a really good time, getting all the extra goals on a level. However, if the game wasn't designed properly, it could actually probably be really simple, so there needs to be a ramping up of difficulty and rewards so the player feels like they're progressing. Also, the game may be hard to code with so many color swapping so frequently, especially if a lot of enemies of different colors are on the screen. Well, this has been my Week 2 game pitch for Rainbow Blitz. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.